Okay, welcome back. We are still in fair housing. So this is basically what we're going to talk about here. Fair housing working, why comply, some study tools. This should be a good 20-minute video, 20 to 25. We used to do it by lessons, but we're not going to do that anymore because we're never going to get done. What will the future hold in fair housing? Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, the National Fair Housing Alliance creates an independent fair housing enforcement agency. This is what they're talking about for the future. It provides national leadership, adequate staff and resources. It's going to be headed by a deputy secretary that would retain the sole authority and international or internal programming and compliance responsibilities for fair housing. So I guess this would be under HUD. It would be like a separate thing under HUD. It would require evidence that communities are receiving federal funds to do more than certify their funding agency. It would have a President's Housing Council. Now, all of this has not happened yet. This is things they're talking about making happen. They're talking about creating a consistent fair housing education campaign. All right, so let's check all the answers that comply. The Fair Housing Alliance recommendations reveals that it is not working well. And why? Okay, so it wants us to check off all answers that apply. Funding for fair housing enforcements is too high. The current oversight is lacking. Programs that are designed to address the mortgage and financial crisis are not racially fair. I don't know about that. Corporations that support workplace diversity. Consumers need more information how to identify and report discrimination. A regional approach to fair housing is better than state by state. All right, we're going to check them all and see what it says. So all of them are correct except for this one. Funding for private fair housing enforcement is too high. Okay. So if you need to take a screenshot, this would be a good way to remember it. Remember what the problems are. And also, if you ever need to contact me and you want one of these resources sent to your email or whatever, you can contact me on my website page and be sure and specify which resource you want, because I'm not going to send them all to you. But this one would be a pretty good one. This one is kind of long to do a screenshot on, so this one might be a good one to email. If this interests you or you have trouble with this, and they are going to put some fair housing questions on this test that you're taking to become a real estate salesperson. You will need to know it. It's important because you do not want to get sued or have a lawsuit that you're discriminating. So that's why they go over this so much, because they don't want you to lose your license. A compliance with these laws and anti-discrimination, it makes sense. So when in doubt, just don't discriminate. And we all have hidden biases, and nobody wants to admit it, but it's true. We tend to stay near people that we are alike or want to be like. I mean, it's just natural. It's just our human nature. It happens with all animals and all human people. We just do it, and you don't want to discriminate. We all like being around people that we're like, right? Women tend to stay around women the same colors, tend to want to stay around the same colors. If you speak a certain language and grew up in a certain culture, you tend to stay around those same type of people. That's where you're comfortable. That's your comfort zone, and it's just natural. But you need to try and be careful that you're not discriminating. You don't want to lose your license over it. It's not worth it. It's also good to learn about different cultures as well, right? This would be a good screenshot. Fair housing affects your community. penalties for non-compliance with these are pretty severe, and you probably will not. You probably would lose your license. Okay, it's important to comply with fair housing laws because your personal reputation and the reputation of your industry or community, really. Educating your clients about fair housing laws helps them minimize their risk as well. Fair housing affects your community and impacts society as a whole. And of course, the penalties for violating these laws can be severe. You got it. Remember to play your part. All right. Anytime you need to take a screenshot, you can always go back and review this video. I try and pause for a few minutes so that you know to do that. People that have been watching these videos for a while know to do that. Okay, so we're on lesson 2. Oh, we just did lesson 2. All right, so we're going on to lesson 3. All right, tell us what you think. We think you're fantastic. Those are the most awesome lessons, aren't they? Just like one question, we're done. All right. So this will be one of my shorty videos then. The unit exam is 4 questions. Let's see how we go. All right. Which of these is the most ethical reason to comply? It ensures your commissions will be paid. Societal strength and diversity. That might be a good one. All right, let's see. When state and federal laws differ, as they sometimes do with fair housing and human rights, which of these is true? Oh, boy. All right. State and law override federal. That is not true. Federal always overrides state. State law may not remove rights granted to citizens under the federal law. Okay, that one might be right, because federal is over state in any case. All right, what is the primary purpose of the federal fair housing? I would think it would be to protect buyers and writers and then having a choice of where they want to live without discriminatory limitations. All right. The National Fair Housing Alliance has voiced concerns that programs designed to address the financial and mortgage lending crisis have increased instances of, I guess, segregation, because that's what we're talking about, right? I don't know. All right, let's see. Oh my God, we got them all right. Holy crap. We definitely need to take a picture of this. Got it right the first time. That's amazing. Okay, so if you need any screenshots, that's why I'm pausing, okay? The most ethical reason to comply is it shows societal strength and diversity. State and federal law is different, but federal always supersedes state. The state law may not remove rights under the federal law. All right, primary purpose is to give people choices in their housing. And the National Fair Housing Alliance has addressed issues of segregation. All right, so that's the end of this unit section, and we're going to go on to contract types next. So if you're sticking with me, our next section is going to be contract laws and Maryland statutes. Now, this may not be just for Maryland. A lot of these are for the entire country. So please come back. Don't be dissuaded because it says Maryland, because a lot of these you can use anywhere in the United States. Now, you're not going to be able to use this internationally, so I'm sorry for all my international people. This is probably going to be a small one as well. Some of these may be specific to Maryland, but most of the time they're not. So I want you to come back, okay? Come back. Please come back. Because I get lonely here doing these videos by myself. All right. Anyway, thank you for watching.